Kahani was a huge success. And though I was there merely for like 1.5 minutes, people still remember me. And there is a common joke which I crack is that it's because of me Kahani happened, because I, get into the metro, I died, and that's why Vidya Balan comes to Kolkata and takes revenge. So it's because of me the kahani happened. But
Yeah.
that's a joke, complete. On national platform, I'm still a debutant, so I cannot take the risk of taking just two, three names. I do not want to antagonize anybody. I just want to, spread the message loud and clear that I'm open to work with all of you. Just give me a good role or a good storyline. There are a certain section of people, they still have this what complain or whatever it is that I only do thrillers. I just tell them that just go through my filmography. I'm fortunate enough that my producers and directors have given me the responsibility to play different kind of roles.
Hello and welcome to News 18 Showsha. I am Shreeja Bhattacharya and today I'm joined by the very charming and talented Abir Chatterjee. Hello, sir. How are you doing?
Hi, Srija. Hi. You can please don't call me sir. I know I'm promoting Karnasubarner Guptodhon and Sonada is a history professor, but yeah, mm, you can call me Sonada. Like I would prefer Abid rather than sir.
Okay. How are you doing?
Uh, exactly the same question I was asked just few minutes ago, and I answered like I am not sure, because it's a big release on 30th of September, and we are like promoting, and at the same time, Pujo is on. Let me tell you, it's if you go outside, like I can see long queues and traffic, and people are out there. So Pujo is on. So Pujo commitments are there. There are some endorsements and there are some Pujo Purikrama. And the biggest thing to happen is Karnasubarner Guptodhon. The trio is back after 3 years. So right now I'm slightly confused. How am I feeling? Yeah, I'm tensed. That's a positive attention, and I'm it's in a way it's better that I'm into promotions and all, so that I'm not realizing how much tensed I am. But
Mhm.
yeah, it feels good because
Yeah.
I can see people out there and they're celebrating life. It was much needed after those deadly 2 years. People need to come out with their loved ones, and Pujo is all about being together. And we're hoping they will enjoy our film on big screen.
Yeah. So you just mentioned that, you're coming back after 3 years on the big screen and this is a nationwide release. So how
Mhm.
does it feel coming back as Shonada to the audience? This was, you spoke about what Abir is feeling, but what is Shonada feeling?
Shonada, I guess Shonada was also waiting to, go out for an adventure uh, with his closest aides, like Abdullah and Chinook. He was also just waiting for the right time to go out. And yes, it's a 3 year back. Durgesh Gore Guptadhan released in summer vacation,
Mhm.
and it like people loved it, and the kind of box office numbers it earned, it was, I think, for last 4 5 years, it is the biggest box office grosser also. But keeping that revenue part aside, I would rather say that Durgesh Gore Guptadhan and Guptadhan Shandane, both the films, the kind of reception we had, especially from the younger members, like people like the kids in the age group of 4 to 13 14, they're so very excited because we are doing some school visits and college visits. The younger generation, they are very excited to see Shonada, Abir and Jinuk one more time on big screen. And this is a film where you can take anyone with you, be it a family member, be your parents, or maybe the senior people, the senior citizen, like the Dadu Thammis. So this is one film where you can just go out with the family members, with your loved ones, and enjoy on big screen. So I think Shonada was also looking for the right opportunity to go out for an adventure.
And you have actually played the best of both worlds. You've portrayed the role of Byomkesh, you've portrayed the role of Feluda. Now, both these characters are very, very iconic. But Shonada is someone who is very new to the Bengali audience. So, do
Mm,
you
mm,
feel
mm.
like there's a constant, impending pressure on your shoulders at all times?
Uh, yeah, pressure is there, but that's what I'm supposed to do after like spending what 13 years in film industry. This is what I look forward to, because I have got so much from this industry. This is my time to give back something. And I wouldn't like to discuss much about Feluda because I have done only one Feluda. That chapter has been closed. But Bomkesh, let me tell you, uh, in the beginning of my journey, in the beginning of my career, Bomkesh happened to me because that was my second film.
Yeah.
And the kind of love, the kind of adulation I got, and the way people identify me with that iconic character called Bomkesh Bokshi. I being see myself, I am a big fan of Bomkesh because I read Bomkesh novels way back in class 7. Then I reread it, so I know the impact Bomkesh Bokshi has. So when I see people, they come to me and say that we love you as Bomkesh Bokshi. They call me Bomkesh Bokshi. I think it's a huge honor and privilege for me. So I'll always be indebted to Bomkesh. Whatever fanfare I have, whatever recognition I have, it started off with Bomkesh. Now, coming back to Sonada, it didn't have any literature background. This is perhaps for the first time in Bengal's franchisee history that these three characters were meant to be on big screen only. So these three characters were created only for film, for the purpose of making a film. But within a very short span of time, people loved the trio, and I can see kids calling me Shonada. So I actually, that was beyond my expectation. I thought they will take some more time to call me Shonada, but by the time Durgeshwar Guptodhon was releasing, that was the second film. I could see younger generation, they were calling me Shonada. The basic difference between these two, Shonada is much more approachable. Uh, you can adore Bomkesh Bokshi, you can hero idealize him, but deep down, back of the mind, you very well know that you can never be like him. Bomkesh is such a huge iconic character. But for Shonada, he is that hero we all had in our childhood, uh, to whom you can go for any reason. Like just before the maths exam, you can go to him and then you can say that the whole year I was not that attentive in my maths class. Please give me some suggestion, and Shonada will help you. Shonada will be the first person who will figure out either you are going out with your boyfriend or girlfriend for a film or something like that. He knows, but at the same time he will allow you to do that. So Shonada is that person who is a hero, but at the same time you can share everything with him. So I think that's the biggest USP of Shonada, and the way the younger people are calling me Shonada, it's very heartwarming for me.
And I'm sure that your approach towards both these characters are prominently different. Can you just like take us through your
Hmm.
process for both?
See, Bomkesh has a literary background. So I, being a huge fan of Bomkesh as a literature, I knew what the character is. So when I started off, I was like a newcomer. Then when from the time I was shooting for Har Har Bomkesh, especially when I started doing Bomkesh with Orindamda, we started exploring more in between lines. Maybe I now I say I have evolved with Bomkesh Bokshi because I have done 7 Bomkesh Bokshi films. But for Shonada, there was no literary background, so we have created the character out of nothing. And Shonada is of today's time. So the equation, the language he speaks, the costume he wears, the kind of equation he has with Abir or Chinook, the kind of leg pulling he does, the way he presents himself, the way he presents the information regarding history it should be of today's time. Let me give you an example. None of us liked history when we were in school. That's because we are afraid of all those, years and the names and the dynasties. But history is nothing but our ancestors' stories. We need to know them to know our roots. But Shonada is a person who will never give you GANs. He will, there is a travelogue involved in every Shonada film. So while traveling, while, maybe trying to solve the riddle, Shonada will give you very important information, but in a very fun way. So people will also fall in love with Shonada. So that's, I think, the basic difference is there in the time zone, because Shonada is very today's character, and Bomkesh represents a definite time period. So that's the first and foremost difference. And there are some other differences also, like Shonada is a very sweet person. Bomkesh is not that sweet. As I told you, you can very well approach Shonada. You can just pick up the phone and call Shonada. Shonada, this is happening in my life. Please give me a suggestion. But for Bomkesh, it's not that easy. You feel intimidated by Bomkesh intelligence and knowledge. So there, I think that's the basic homework I did, and definitely, Dhruvo Banerjee, my director, has given me a framework on which we have worked. And with all the films, the trio, these three of us, we have tried to, you know, put forward our inputs also. Dhruvo is very open to suggestions. So that way we have, created this trio and Sonada from the scratch.
Right. And as an actor, do you ever fear that people are going to just start thinking that you can portray just one kind of a role, and that
I
you're
don't think so. Yeah, this allegation has been there. Like there are a certain section of people, they still have this what complain or whatever it is that I only do thrillers. I just tell them that just go through my filmography. I'm fortunate enough that my producers and directors have given me the responsibility to play different kind of roles, and some of the films have done exceptionally well critically and in box office numbers also. So in a way I'm happy, but at the same time I very well understand the kind of character Bomkesh Bokshi is. It's a huge character, so that that will always be in people's mind. And the way people love Shonada, people will definitely come to me and discuss about these two characters because they have become iconic characters. But at the same time I'm getting to play different characters also. The main point is Bengalis, the people who love to watch Bengali films, they have a knack to watch thrillers.
Mhm.
We cannot do anything about that. But I would love to explore other genres also. I am doing it, but I maybe in near future I'll explore some other genres also. But depending on the kind of scripts I'm getting. But I do not have any such complaint. But rather, I feel very honored and privileged to play all these characters.
Yeah. And this time, the film, it's in a bigger scale, of course.
Mm.
So can you
Mhm.
talk to us about that?
Yes, see, the expectation is already there because people have loved the first two part of the franchisee. So while we were shooting for the third part, Karnasubarner Guptodhon, or while we were into the pre-production stage, the first and foremost thing what Dhruvo planned was to make the adventure, the adrenaline rush on a larger scale, so
Yeah.
that people, they understand that we are trying to give them something more in terms of the scale and grandeur. The only thing which was out of the syllabus was the heat, because in last two films actually the shooting schedule was in the winters. But this year, because of the COVID and the restrictions and everything, we started shooting late March in early April, and you can very well uh, understand the kind of weather we have, because in Purulia we had a like 11 12 days of schedule. It was very dry, the heat was very dry there. And then we went to Malda Murshidabad. It was we were like a pool of water all over our body and costumes, because it was very humid at that point of time. Kolkata was also very hot. So that was the only thing that was out of our syllabus. But we never compromised on the quality and on the scale, and the whole full credit goes to Dhruvo for being non-compromising on this factor. And if the outcome comes really well, which we hope has already been there because the film is ready, and if people love the whole film, I think none of us will complain about the weather situation and nothing. We are waiting for the feedback actually.
So there are more chapters coming after this.
I don't know. That's a very important question and a very intriguing question. It's too early to comment on that, because when we started off the first film, Guptodhone Shandhane, we had in like it was almost planned that we'll make three films. But
Okay.
what happens now, it depends on so many other factors also. And I don't want to, make it a habit. Like my only condition is, suppose the third film, Karnasubarner Guptodhon, becomes very successful. So we shouldn't be depending on the success of the film. If we have a good storyline, if we feel kicked about the storyline, only then we should make another franchise. Not only because the last three films were successful, let us do another one, let's jump into the bandwagon.
Mhm.
That will actually make us compromise on the quality of the film. So let's wait. Let us now concentrate on Karnasubarner Guptodhon as of now, and there, I think there is time to plan, if there is any plan at all.
Yeah. So, you made your Hindi OTT debut this year,
Hmm.
but I think your
Right,
Hindi debut happened back with Kahani, which was
right,
remarkable. So,
right.
is there anything brewing in the pipeline that we need to be aware of?
Uh, no, I'm in talks with some of them, but nothing that constructive has happened. If you give a look at my filmography, also, I have always followed the principle of slow but steady. So
Yeah.
I'm not, hurrying anything. Let me wait for the right opportunity and for the right role. As you correctly mentioned, Kahani was a huge success. And though I was there merely for like 1.5 minutes, people still remember me. And there is a common joke which I crack, is that it's because of me Kahani happened, because I, get into the metro, I died, and that's why Vidya Balan comes to Kolkata and takes revenge. So it's because of me the Kahani happened. But
Yeah.
that's a joke, complete. But yeah, people were asking me, because few of my colleagues, my friends, they were doing exceptionally well in national platform,
Mhm.
be it Jishu, be it Porom, be it Pauli, be it
Yeah.
Shostika. So my media friends, they were asking me, why aren't you venturing into all those national platforms? I just told them that I'm waiting for the right opportunity and for the right role. After the kind of reactions, very warm reactions I got for Avrod season 2, now at least I can expect that people now they know why the wait was for a longer period. I will definitely love to work more on national platform, but only if the role and the character or the storyline excites me.
Absolutely. And lastly, are there any directors, actors that you would want to work with in the national platform?
See, on national platform, I'm still a debutant, so I cannot take the risk of taking just two, three names. I do not want to antagonize anybody. I just want to, spread the message loud and clear that I'm open to work with all of you. Just give me a good role or a good storyline. I'm game.
Amazing. All the very best, not just for national, but for
Thank
your
you.
film. Thank you so
Thank you,
much
Srija.
for
And thankfully, we have the kind of plans we have.
joining.
Karnasubarner Guptadhon will see an international release also in USA, in UAE, in Netherlands, in Australia, and in UK maybe. I'm not very sure, but there are like four, five, 6 countries. UAE, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we are currently keeping our fingers crossed. We just hope people love this film more than last two films.
Thank you. Thank you so much for joining us. I hope that happens too.
Thank you, Srija.
Thank you so much.
Just
And I hope you have a great pujo.
wish you a very happy Pujo, and wish your family members also a happy Pujo, because last 2 years we couldn't celebrate the way we want to celebrate Durga Puja. This year, hopefully, we are much closer to normalcy. So
Yeah,
let everyone come out and enjoy life. Let's celebrate life. And in that celebration, if we can contribute a little bit with our film, that will be our biggest treasure. That will be our biggest Guptathon. So I wish you all the best for the puja, and please watch the film and let us know your feedback.
absolutely. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Srija. Bye.